Hey, so a bunch of people have been asking me about how to create a video CMA, which I do all the time for my clients because it's way more in depth. I don't have to worry about them misinterpreting anything. They get to see it the way I see it. I figure I'm the expert. I don't want them looking at things like, oh, well, that house is 1,900 square feet, mine is 15, and there's no difference between the two, which, clients do. I also use this exact same thing every week on my listings. If I have a listing that didn't sell in a week, which happens occasionally, I update them every week just like this so they can see what came on the market, what went off the market, and where their house is positioned relative to everything else. So every week they get one of these from me. I do this for pricing homes. When I have a new listing coming on, I do this exact process so that I can let the client see the logic of the price range that I'm recommending. So no CMA should ever come up with a dollar amount. It should always be a range because, really, what are you, the psychic? It's just a range. In the meantime, this is really useful. BombBomb has a screen share. I think Loom does, other people do, but I use BombBomb. So let's say, William wants, I'm just going to do a CMA for William on this house. Suppose William likes this particular house and wants to get the value so he knows what to offer. Okay, so I would just first of all, I would take the MLS number and copy that. And we're looking at it as 1,750 square feet. And it is 1960. Okay, 1750, 1960. Okay, quarter acre. All right, so I got the MLS number. I'm going to go to search. I'm going to go to CMA. I'm going to plug in that MLS number right here so I can get within a mile of it. And I'm going to look for active, pending inspection, pending, and solds. I could look for expireds, but we all know there are no expireds anymore. So different. Let's see. Something's wrong. Oh, there we go. 69 matches. Nice. All right. So one way to do this. So for a buyer that wants to get an idea, all right, so I got a condo in here. I definitely want to take the condo out. There's no reason it's going to take it off of 69, but okay. 66. Okay, so there's 66. So if I was doing for a buyer, I wouldn't do a lot more work than this. I would just then take it and select all and go to print and print the CMA portrait version. And that would then give me this, which is great because now I can get, the average of the listed properties is 1 million. Okay. Not that useful. Why? Because we know this house isn't $1 million and this has a couple of $2 million houses in it. So that tells me right away, I got to go back and take those out. I don't want those in there because they're skewing the averages. It's crazy. This house is not a $2 million house. So come on, go to none. And here are the two. Let's delete those two. Yep. And refine. And we're going to discard those two. Good. All right. So that should change that. Let's just check through here. Are there any other outliers? Search. Yeah, there's a couple of, solds in here that are 300,000. Okay, but that's within a mile. Those are probably valid. Let's just take a look at some of these. This is, it's a townhome. So we probably want to get rid of the townhomes. Because this house clearly wasn't a townhome. So we want to get rid of that. It's just a small house. Small house. Yeah, okay. That's a piece of crap. All right. Well, but in the meantime, they're all in the averages. So if, excuse me, if it's for a buyer, it's one thing, right? I could just take it and I could just select, go back to results, select all, go back to actions, print the CMA version, and I can give that buyer a nice, quick, right now, William, houses in that area, the median price, the average price is 772, 281 a square foot, right? So here's this, here's the one you were looking at right there, and it's 313 a square foot, so it's a little bit over, but it's also over because it's smaller than most of the other houses in that area, and smaller houses go for more per square foot. That's just the way smaller houses go. Pending 863 on average, but the square footage is way higher. So we're looking at average square feet because the average square foot is way higher than the house he's looking at. Here's one, 469 pending inspection, a little bit smaller, but it's 317 a square foot. So again, you can begin to see smaller houses have higher price per square foot, and that's the way that is, William. So the biggest data set, the most accurate average, 275 a square foot, you're 281 a square foot. Average at 641, you're at 550, but you're a little bit higher per square foot. So I would tell that buyer, you know what? That house is priced reasonably. You're not overpaying for that house for sure at 550. At even a 281 a square foot, you got room to go up. So that would be for a buyer. If it was for a seller or someone was looking to, I was looking to list this house in some way, let's go back to a single line. And then you could, begin to remove houses. So I would go back and look at it from status. Where's my status? So I want to pick 2 or 3 actives and 2 or 3 solds. If there's pendings, great, there are pendings, because those are the different conversations you would have with the seller. Like, look, the pendings are the ones that sold how many days on market and where were they in terms of price. So let's look at the actives. There's not that many. So we can go through these together. See, this is a piece of crap. Let's get rid of it. Doesn't match this house. This is the house. This is also a very good comp for that. It's way bigger, but we're going to look at the price per square foot. Okay. In fact, if we were going to do this as a listing, I would take, it was 1750. So I would go to 1300 to 2000, something like that. 1350, maybe somewhere in that range, 1300 to 2000 price per square foot. It's a 1960. So I would go 1940 to 1980, 20 years on either side. And now I only have 14 comps. This is pretty good. So here is our comp. Okay. There are no active listings in this area that are within that square footage range. Okay, good. There's this one. It is, and it went pending at 469 in 2 weeks. Okay. It's smaller. It's 275 a square foot. Right. This was the one that was 275 a square foot. No, 317. This is the one that's 318 a square foot. Okay. So it's 318 a square foot. It went in 13 days. So probably a little long, but on 12/22. So end of the year, we would call this agent, find out if it went over asking with multiple offers. Otherwise, we could say, that 300 price range, 300 per square foot price range is probably pretty good. Here is now everything else is sold. So for the solds, we want to find 1 or 2 that really do look like this house. 1900 square feet, 385, smaller lot, looks older and in worse shape. Here's 13, but quarter acre, 3 days on market, pretty good. 307 a square foot. You might want to keep that one around. Probably want to keep this one around. This one looks okay. 1600 a square foot, smaller lot, 261 a square foot. So we're just going to get some averages here. This looks like a piece of crap. Okay. This is also not bad. Close. And then we would go through the 14. There's not that many of them, right? And we're going to start to see higher priced ones too. Here's 301 a square foot. I don't like that one. I don't really like that one. I like that one. 535, quarter acre, 3.1, same size, sold in September, and it sold at 308 a square foot. Really nice comp for this place, and it sold over asking. So I would put together 2 or 3 4 comps, and I would start to build a case for what I thought it could sell for. Now, if it was a listing, I would have seen it already. I'm not pricing a house I haven't seen. So I could then go through and see really which ones of these match, which ones of these don't. And I would create a compelling story on video and say, all right, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, somewhere in the range of 280 to 300 a square foot would be good, somewhere in that range. Tell me what you think, and leave it for them to decide. This one started at 484 and ended at 563. I would for sure build this case in November, and it was at 335 a square foot. I would build the case. Listen, you want to price this thing under the market value so that we can get it over the market value. We always encourage bidding wars. They listed under 5 and sold for 560. People are going, I would build that case in their listening. So we're not starting over. We're not starting at the top. Okay. Here's a very nice house. You want to look to see this, but it's almost a whole acre. So not that useful for a comp. But notice how it started at 599 and sold under asking. Okay. So they didn't have multiple offers. Started high, ended low. I would build this case every time with every seller I was going. Notice the ones that started high, sold under, and the ones that started low, sold over. Let's go there. This took 14 days. Now, it netted them 592, so maybe that's a valid, but they get to decide, right? And you've got a lot of other factors going into it. So how you determine the price is different, but I would, for each agent gets to create that. But for me, the video CMA is both unique. You can create a compelling story, and it sets you apart from other agents. You can use it for a lot of different things. I love it. If you have questions about, various tools, various things for your business, let me know. Aaron Hendon with Christine and Company over at eXp Realty. See you later. Bye.